Good morning and welcome to the video for Monday, June the 22nd. This is going to be a video for upcoming 7th graders, and I have my faithful assistant Ernie with me today. So apologies for the lamp. It's actually kind of dark outside. I guess it's getting ready to rain over at my in-laws' house. So apologies for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be working with today. So we are going to be talking about different things working with expressions, solving different types of equations, as well as factoring expressions. So to start with, what we would do to apply some of the things that we worked on last year, we know that we can use the distributive property to get this portion. Actually, we can use the distributive property to get this portion as well. And so what we want to do is go ahead and take both of these sections and break them back apart so that we can figure out what we're working with. So to start with, our 4x would stay the same. And then we are going to have a 3 times 2x to get 6x, 3 times what would end up being negative 5 to get negative 15, or we would say that we would be doing 4x minus 6x minus 15. And then this part here is going to be this idea of distributing the negative, is the way the book describes that. And so we would say that we would be doing minus x minus 4. And so the next step that we would be looking at doing is changing all of these subtraction symbols to being adding by a negative value. So this is one way that we could represent that. And so as we do that, what we can do from there is to go ahead and start working to group things together using our commutative property of addition. And so that's the reason why we would kind of change these into things that we can add together. So I'm going to want to go ahead and send this guy over here, and this guy I'm going to move over here. And so when I go ahead and group all of this together and group this part together, I'm going to get negative 19 here. This part is going to be, let's see, negative 3x. And so when I combine these two together, my final expression would be negative 3x minus 19. So for factoring expressions, all we are doing is this idea of something that we worked on in 6th grade. Maybe not as complicated, maybe not using negative values, but we are going to take this expression and change it into 2 different factors using the distributive property. So we can use our greatest common factor for that. So my greatest common factor of negative 12 and negative 20 would be 4, or specifically negative 4. And so I can do negative 4 times 3x plus 5. And so by doing that, again, I'm going to distribute this negative value for both of these. So if I do negative 4 times 5, that's going to give me my negative 20. If I go ahead and do negative 4 times 3x, that is going to give me my negative 12x. So this would be one way that we could go ahead and do that. So negative 4 is going to be our first factor, and then this 3x plus 5 would be the second. So the last thing I want to talk about for today is working with solving equations. So the idea is to get this x by itself, and the way that we do that, so I'm going to add 30 to both sides, and then when I do that, I'm going to be left with x by itself, and then the answer to 180 plus 30, which would be 210. And so this is our standard, just simple one-step equation. If I go ahead and change this expression a little bit and put a value up here, now I'm going to have a two-step equation. I'm going to have to make this 3x value be by itself, so I'm going to use the same steps that I did to accomplish that. I'm going to add 30 to both sides of the equation. This part is going to cancel itself out, and I'm going to end up with 3x equals 210. Then my second step is going to be divide by 3. So I can represent that by kind of using a fraction. This part is going to cancel itself out. 210 divided by 3 is going to give us 70. And so my resulting answer would be x equals 70. There are a few ways that the book talks about doing this, working with different models, with algebra tiles and so forth. I don't have access to a way to show that, and I don't have a lot of practice using that because I've been more focused on doing this. I might be able to kind of model what it's supposed to look like, but I think I will save that particular part for your actual classroom teacher for 7th grade. That way they can go ahead and give you that information in a way that they're used to doing that, since I'm not used to doing that. So hope this helps for you get an idea of some of the different things. Also, one other thing that you will be asked to do is to take these ideas and make the expressions or make the equations that you would then be able to solve. So if this helps for you, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, Risen Christ students. I'll be happy to answer those for you. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope your summer's going well, and I'll have a new video for you a week from today.